Welcome to another edition of the Straight Shooting Sports Talk Podcast. Got tongue tied there. I am your host, Dujane Bland, and we're going to talk about today the Thursday night matchup. We're going to take a look at that, and we're going to take a look at a few other key matchups around the NFL, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on the NFL's officiating. We've had some missed calls as we're looking under the hood, and we've had some no calls go on. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on how we can improve that part of the game. So let us take a look. We got Thursday night football coming up tomorrow. And we have a pretty decent matchup here. I like it. It's probably a better matchup than it looked initially in the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. New York Jets and Buffalo coming off of losses to Cincinnati, the Jets, Baltimore for the Bills. Both teams are not evenly matched. As I stated when we broke down the games for last week, I don't like Buffalo at all. I don't know who's going to rush the passer on a consistent basis. And their offense, they have weapons. They definitely have weapons on the offense. But the question is, can they stop someone? And the Jets, I really like them and really picked them to win the division. I think they have a valiant opportunity, have a great opportunity to win this division. And they didn't look too well at all last week. When you look at Darrelle Revis, I mean, is Father Time getting, a little knocking on the door there? Because I tell you, it's either that or, I don't know, are people able to rent timeshares on Revis Island now? Because, I mean, he was getting lit up over there as he was covering A.J. Green. Wasn't a good look. And this week he's facing Sammy Watkins. Now, I don't think Sammy Watkins is on the same level as A.J. Green, but, I mean, he's a tough wide receiver, and he can go up and get the ball. He made some plays in the Baltimore game as well. So who are we going to go with in this game? And I tell you, I like the Jets a lot. I think the Jets and Todd Bowles realize that they have the pieces in place to be able to make plays and make enough plays to be able to win ball games. And that's something that's important. They know that they have an opportunity to have the leg up on the division. And I believe that they, with them understanding that, they're going to win this ball game. They're going into Buffalo. Sure, it's not a long travel for them, but overall, as a team, they're steps ahead of the Buffalo Bills. Now, only one concern that they have to contain Tyrod Taylor. They can't allow him to get outside, making plays with his feet. And I thought Baltimore did an excellent job of that, of containing him in the pocket, wrapping him up, not allowing him to make plays with his feet, not allowing him to make runs outside of the pocket or extend the play and hit big plays to Woods and Sammy Watkins deep for touchdowns. So I think they're more equipped to handle that. And offensively, they'll get back on track. You won't see those mistakes that you saw from Fitzpatrick, and they'll get back on a roll and make this thing 1-1, and start looking towards the tougher end of the schedule. They have to, because their schedule gets tougher. I think they have Kansas City, they have the Steelers, the Seahawks. They have to go to Seattle, so they have to get a win. It's not code red, but they definitely need to get a win against Buffalo, and I think they'll be able to do that. Another matchup that is critical, especially in the NFC East, is the Redskins and the Cowboys. Dallas going to Washington to play the Washington Redskins, who are coming off of a complete and utter beatdown, only scoring 16 points at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Defensively, poor Breland took a beating. I mean, it was a Mike Tyson like beating he took, and the Cowboys were close, and Cowboys fans have to be optimistic of what they saw. Their offense, with the solid running game, they have one, if not the best offensive line in the league. They were able to run the ball a bit, and coming in with the success they've had running the ball, especially with Alfred Morris, I don't know why they got away from it in that Giants game, because Alf was going off. The Redskins gave up 4.8 yards to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And last year they were giving up about 4.7 yards a carry. So you have to be salivating a little bit if you're Jason Garrett coming into Washington. Defensively, they weren't horrible, but they are who we thought they were defensively. And with the Redskins having the weapons with Jordan Reed, Garcon and Jackson both in contract years. You have you even saw Vernon Davis get a little piece of the action. The question for the Redskins is, can they run the football? I don't think they have to run the football. I just think they have to pick one or the other. Are you going to, if the defense dictates to you that you can run the football, do that. If you're having success on a drive and you're passing the ball, then do that. But do what works. Don't try to get cutesy and, get away from what's working. Because the Cowboys are going to take advantage. If they can get the ball rolling in the run game, you can best believe they're going to try to take advantage of Dak's ability to run as well. And that's going to open up the door for Dez to be able to have a decent day and Jason Witten to have a decent day. And they were able to find Colt Beasley. So don't think they're not looking at that tape that Pittsburgh put together and seeing what they can do with their slot receivers as well. So this is going to be an interesting game because it is a divisional game, but I'm going to take the Washington Redskins at home. I think they're going to bounce back. I think their defense is going to be better. And they're going to do a lot better job of covering, a lot better job of taking advantage of opportunities. And I think Kirk understands he has to do a better job as a quarterback, and I think he'll improve. It's going to be a tight one. It will not be a blowout, but I think the Washington Redskins will find a way to get that done. Now, another key matchup is in the AFC East as well, and that's the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. New England 1-0. They went to Arizona, took care of business. Jimmy Garoppolo looked phenomenal, like the Patriots didn't miss a beat. And the Dolphins, they were a Kenny Stills catch away from winning that game in Seattle. Thought they played Seattle quite tough. I figured they would. But again, them going to Seattle was the downfall and is the reason why I didn't pick them, but they were very much in that football game. Now, the question is, can they take advantage of the Patriots without Tom Brady? They're going to have to play solid defense. Gronk may be back, so that's going to be an added weapon there. I'm sorry. At home in Gillette Stadium, I'm going to have to take the Patriots. They'll be well prepared. And I think the Dolphins will hang tough close. I just don't think they have enough in the tank. This New England team is just moving along as if Tom Brady is still there. And they didn't even have all of their weapons. So if they get all their weapons back this week, even if they just get Gronk back, it's going to be a tough offense to stop because Jimmy did an excellent job. Now, maybe the Dolphins can do some things to confuse them. I want to see it first because the Dolphins are now like the Seattle of old, where they used to say, "Come on, Seattle." Well, we're saying, "Come on, Dolphins," and been saying that for years. And they look like they're going to do something on paper, and they have the talent, and they come out and they continue to lay eggs in the big games. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm going to take the Patriots in that game. Now, let us talk about this officiating issue. this is an issue that this is not nothing new. This isn't anything that has come up this year. It's a year to year basis, and it's been for several years. We keep making new rules and inventing new rules, and as most people know, it's to the advantage of the offense. They want to see more scoring, et cetera, et cetera. My problem is that if you have rules on the books, you should know what they are, and they should be second nature. And you say, oh, well, some of these calls they're judgment calls. I'm not buying it. Because, see, it's sort of like a manufacturer, right? We have policies and things that the quality department has to follow. They have a blueprint. They have a plan. Everything goes according to what that plan is. They look it over. It either passes or it fails. Now, they tell the companies that they work for that, hey, we have policies and procedures that we follow that guarantees quality. We stand by it. Now, if you want quality in the game in the National Football League, and you want these games to not be decided by stupid calls that either are called or not called, you have to understand the rules you have on the books. Creating new rules is not going to change the glaring problem, this big elephant in the room, that we can't get the simple things correct. I'll give you an example. The strip fumble recovered by Washington in the Monday Night Football game, Josh Norman, AB. Now, they slowed that down, which I hate when they look at penalties in slow-mo. Yeah, if you're going to look at it as slow-mo to see if he made a football move and then look at it in real time and make the judgment call, then do that. But it was clear that what more do you have to do for it to be constituted a football move? Now, my next problem with that is these head referees are not new in this league. Most of these head referees have been here for quite some time. You should know what the rules are. And I know we say, well, it's not rocket science. Maybe it is. But that's not a difficult call to make. Now, if some Joe Blow on the couch can see that, and you have the ability to look at it at different angles, and you can't make the correct call, something's wrong. And I understand, if it's called one way on the field, then, most of the time, if there's not definitive evidence, then we can't overturn the call. That's a bunch of hogwash, okay? In certain instances, I get it. Certain instances, that makes sense. But when it's clear, cut and dry, there's no excuse. Then you go under the hood and you still get it wrong. That's embarrassing. Now we want to talk about, well, we don't want the games to be extended. Look, I'm sure fans don't give a hoot if the game is extended by a few more minutes as long as you get that call right. Because if that call is wrong and it costs them points, whether it's against them, that costs them a playoff spot because they probably are going to lose that game. They lose that game to a poor call. And then we're going to come back and say, oh, I'm sorry. We missed a call. I'm sorry. Well, that doesn't change that big fat L in the column, and it sure enough doesn't help them late in the season. When playoff time comes and you have that L in your column. All I'm saying is refine the rules and understand the rules you have on the books, and you don't have these problems where games are decided by bad calls. Well, thank you so much for listening to the show. We're going to come to you every day, Monday through Friday, bringing you a different topic each and every day. If you want to follow me or ask me any questions, you can look me up on Twitter at NotBland21. That's NotBland21. And you can send emails here, straightshootingsportstalk@gmail.com. Thank you so much.